Welcome to another market close as we close out this midday Wednesday, February 7th, I believe. It is fantastic to be here today. We're going to talk a little bit about HMM. Holy banana bread. They have been absolutely owning the charts. In addition to that, of course, we have the bell. We do have the bell over here. So we got the bell going. We got HMM. We got, of course, all of our normal stuff, including our watch list, including our heat maps. And let's actually start with a heat map. I'm going to pull up. First of all, I have to click on the heat map. There we go. And then I'll pull this up here for you. There we go. All right. So this is our heat map for the TSX. And as you guys can see, we're kind of in a flat market today. It is currently in the green. Now, it was red for a good chunk of the day, but we have recovered a little bit. So as you can see, most of the banks, well, not most, but a good chunk of the banks are down. TD down, Bank of Montreal down, Royal Bank down. Yeah. Well, National Bank is kind of up 0.02%, but we got some, look at the big ones. Look at Shopify. Shopify had a wonderful day. They're up like almost 5%, so 4.54%. The railroads are up. Oil seems to be down a little bit over here. Some of the other things like Dollarama. Oh, and everyone's favorite, Alimentation Couche-Tard, is at exactly 0%. The U.S. actually does look a little better. Let's pull the U.S. one up. The U.S., we got a lot of green. Look at this. Tech is looking good. You got Meta up another 3%. Meta, holy banana bread. Meta has been doing really, really good ever since there. Well, actually, Meta's been doing good for a long time, but it's been staying under people's radar. So that's just absolutely fantastic. NVIDIA up again, of course. Amazon's up. Look at this. Microsoft, even Tesla is up 1.95%. So it looks like a good day for the Magnificent Seven. Oh, and then we got crypto. Let's pull crypto up and look at this. This is a lot of green. We're doing a lot of green over here on the crypto. We got Bitcoin's up 2.47%. Ethereum is up 2.71%. Solana is up. So that's not too bad. We definitely have some good green, some solid green happening on the market. This is great. Now, if we actually look at the market a little bit, right now you can see the S&P 500, they are up 0.82%. And look at this. 4,994. Well, it was 5. They did almost hit 5 today. Actually, let's take a look here and see right about there. So they came close. They came within a fraction of hitting the 5,000. So they'll probably do that tomorrow unless we have a red day. And here you can see the TSX up by a little tiny 0.02%. I wouldn't even be surprised if they slip back into the red before the end of before the bell in 12 minutes. That could happen. So yeah, when we look at things, gold is down a little bit, but oil's up a tiny bit. And there's Bitcoin. Bitcoin, of course, having a pretty good day. Actually, Bitcoin had a pretty big pump that's kind of in the process right over here. This has been the Bitcoin's day. It's just been a nice little jaunt up. So yeah, that's Bitcoin for us. All right, let's check in with the chat and see who we got in here right now. We have Stan Gray in nice and early saying hello all. And we have Kevin and Kaz. Hey there, gang. Vic is in the house. Good to see you, Vic. Hopefully you're not driving and trying to type at the same time. And we get a good old bonjour from Good Vibes. And Perlovia is in here saying, hey, all, hope your day is going well. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, what a week it has been for some people. Those of you on the East Coast, you guys are digging out of some pretty epic snow. So that's pretty, pretty fun. I did want to take a quick look, though, just going to pull this up here. And we're going to go down here to HMM. So this has been HMM. They have had this huge, I'm going to bring this over so you can see the beginning. So, I mean, they were just moving along normally, etching up a little bit. And then towards the end of last week, look at this. That's where they had that big, massive jump. And then I was waiting. Like I had people around here asking me, hey, is it over? Is it too late to get in? And I was like, well, it's not too late, but they're probably going to correct a little. Well, look at this is their little correction. Quite literally, it's almost a flat correction because then they had another shot up. So right now they're sitting at 13.10. That's crazy. I know actually in one of Jill's accounts, she bought them in at 648. That's where she bought in, and they're now sitting at 13.10. So that's not too shabby at all. They have been doing really, really well. And the number one question I've been getting lately is why? What the heck is going on? Why the heck is Hammond exploding? Now, I've looked at a lot of different things. A lot of times this will happen after an earnings report, but that's not the case this time. The simple thing is right now there's a high demand for, well, transformers and any kind of electronics in that field. And that high demand is turned into, well, Hammond. It's turned into what's been happening with them. So they've been doing absolutely fantastic. So you gotta love this. And now, even now, I'm still saying, is it time to get in if you haven't gotten in yet? I still think they're going to go up, but they're due to have a correction. So, and this is that hard. This is where you have to really sort of sit back. If you're sitting back and you're sitting on some cash and you're thinking, I want to get into Hammond, but I want to wait for that correction. Well, look at what happened here. It wasn't a very good correction. It was more of a straight on forward. In a way, when they peaked up here at 1247 and then fell back down, that was almost a correction, but we may not see any big correction. So this might be a thing if you're looking to get in and you're like, well, I don't know if it's the right time. That's when something like dollar cost averaging is pretty much the way to go. Put in a little bit, buy a few shares here, buy a few shares there, just start adding to them over time. And if we do get that correction, then you can always throw a whole bunch in at that point. But yeah, that's kind of how I would handle that. And our unofficial sponsor, our very unofficial sponsor is Starbucks. So we're going to have a sip of our good old coffee in the Starbucks mug. Call me Starbucks. We need to make this official. We need to make this official. All right. And we'll get back to the big screen for the moment. Okay, Vic says, I saw some crazy stat that CNR and CP have done better than Canadian tech, likely excluding SHOP and CSU. Yes, right now, excuse me, CNR is around $174, I think, per share. So that's just crazy. Well, you know what? Here we go. Let's pull this up here. I don't have CNR on here, but I can add them. It just takes a couple seconds. CNR, Here we go. Perfect. Let's take a look. So yeah, they're 174. So look, this is CNR. They're going choo up. A little bit of a curve at the top, but they've been doing absolutely fantastic. So Vic, yeah, they have been doing really, really well. CP, maybe not as well. You know what? I don't want to say that. We'll just pull CP up as well here. Let's just do it. We'll pull CP up. Bang, done. They're at 114. So you know what? Look at this. It's the same story. So yes, the railroads are doing fantastic right now, both CP and CNR. So, and look at this, CP is up at 114. I mean, look at this when they were closer to 100 not that long ago. So that's not a bad thing at all. All right, let's pull this back down. Vic says, I'm very heavy into Disney. Can't seem to log into earnings call after the close. Yes. And I heard some crazy rumors too about Disney. I heard a crazy rumor. Now, this is totally rumorville. Normally, if I say take it with a grain of salt, take this with a absolute dump truck load of salt. But I heard that Elon Musk is thinking about buying Disney. I don't know if this is true. I don't think it's true. I haven't heard it from a reputable source. So it's more or less just a rumor mill, but That would be really, really interesting. I don't know what would happen if that happened. There would definitely be some changes at Disney for sure. Let's see here. Kevin Cass says, got in today, crossing fingers for tomorrow. Okay, I think you're talking about HMM. Here's the beautiful thing. If it does go down tomorrow and you did get in today, hold on. It's going to keep going up. There is a high demand for their products. That's not going away. That's not going to end. That demand will be in place. And if there's a high demand, you're going to be able to sell them at higher prices. It's just, that's the way it works. Ian says, did you ever make money on a meme stock? Yes and no. I'll give you an example. Back in the olden days, so back in the days of, back when High Rye was on the air and, a lot of his community was all into this weed MD. I jumped in. I was like, sure, let's jump in. And I happened to be online watching Weed MD the day that the Wall Street Bets folks decided to pump it, and I was just like, I watched it go up, 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 up. I sold at a nice profit. I actually sold right at the top. I was just now that was not skill. That was absolute dumb luck that I sold at that point. I was in profit. I was in a nice little profit, so I sold and it came crashing back down just as fast. So very few people managed to pull off getting out of that one at a profit. So I was just very, very lucky with that. So yeah, I made some money off of that one. Prairie says, good afternoon, everyone. Made it to another market close. Fantastic. I know I was talking to Prairie earlier over on the Discord. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, we have a Discord. I'll grab the link before the end of the show. I'll drop it in. Actually, I'll drop it in. I'll pin it to the bottom of this show once it's finished. So we do have a Discord now. The Discord is in addition to, of course, the Facebook group, because a lot of people like the Discord. Now, the Discord has so many more things that we can do over there. So there's all kinds of stuff that we can do. There's all kinds of categories. Heck, you can even, I just actually created a section over there where you could share pictures of your pets if you want to do that. I put up a cat picture and a Prairie put up a dog picture. So we'll have to see who wins, cats or dogs, by the time this is all said and done. There's also, for those of you who want to talk to each other, there's voice chat in there too. So there's some voice chat rooms. You can go in there and you guys can just chat up a storm if that's what you guys want to do. It's all there. I'm pretty new to Discord, so I've used it before, but actually running one. So you guys, whatever you guys want over there, let me know. We're gonna try to turn the Discord into something pretty darn cool. So we'll just sort of keep that going as we go. All right. Vic says RKT. Well, let's take a look at RKT. I do not know who RKT is off the top of my head. Are you talking about rocket companies? Or are you meaning wrecked? I don't know. If you want me to pull up RKT like rocket companies, let me know, Vic. I will do that. Or was that what you made money on? So made good money on a meme when it was squeezed in 2021. Yeah, and that can happen sometimes. If somebody puts a short squeeze on something, there's definitely some opportunity to make some money there. Let's see. Kevin and Cass says made profits on YTSL today. Nice. I have made profits. I swing trade that one sometimes. So YTSL I have made profits on. Vic says I actually like Rocket Mortgage as a stock. Okay. There we go. So I did have the right company. I think I was looking at Rocket Company. So I imagine Rocket Mortgage falls under that. Mario was in the house with a hello, everyone. See, no ADR, China stocks, just ETFs. Vancouver Isle guy, Mr. Kevin is in the house with a good day all. Well, let's see here. Vic is saying Disney, 181 billion valuation. No way Elon has that money. Zuckerberg, maybe. And that's kind of why I say take that with a dump truck load of salt. And I think Elon, I can't remember who it was, but it's where I heard it, they mentioned that there was somebody else who was going to come in with him to do it. But still, that is a huge amount. And I cannot see Disney just selling themselves. I really can't. Especially now, they have actually created, I believe, Disney, Warner Brothers, and another group. I don't remember the third group. Are looking at doing streaming sports together. And I think that was something that just sort of broke in the news earlier today. Jordan says, phew, I made it with a few minutes to spare. Awesome, awesome. Yes, oh, it is time. Here it is. Whoa, the bell, the bell. The market is now closed. All right, let's take a final look and see where it all ended up. Boop-a-doop. I'll just bring this back up. Okay, so the S&P 500, it ended at 49.95. So almost to that 5,000, but not quite. They were up almost 1%. The TSX, like I said, very flat. They were up 0.05%. So that is pretty darn flat. Bitcoin up 2.5%. WTI up. Gold, I still will call that flat. I mean, they were down 0.03. And the last shot of the heat map, we see Shopify finishing up at 4.29 up, and everything looking pretty strong over there. And of course, crypto's still going. It goes all the time, but nice and green once again. All right, let me pull that back down. All right, Jordan says hello to everyone, and Vic says I've lost on SPACs, NFTs, and so many. As much as I love stocks, mostly index ETFs for me, I want to bottom fish blue chips when they drop. Here's that thing, though. I could not get into NFTs at all when everybody was, was out there going crazy for Bored Apes and everything else. I was just like, I can understand how. I mean, I can understand exactly how they look, how they could make money. And I can also understand how some of the usefulness of NFTs, if you're using it for security and things like that, or for authentication. I just couldn't see buying a picture of an ape for, however many. Because right now I can make all these wonderful pictures of apes. I could just go to AI and ask them to make me one. I'll have one, and it won't cost me a penny. But yeah, anyway, NFT was one thing I could not get into. I mean, but a lot of people did. Some people made money, but a lot of people didn't. A lot of people lost a lot of money on NFTs. So, movie night on the Mountain Discord. Well, I think there's options that you might be able to pull that off. So if you guys want to do a movie night or something, yeah, feel free, coordinate. I'll set up whatever I need to set up for you. Let's see. And Jordan says, if you want help with your Discord, let me know. I've had my own server there for a while. All right, Jordan, I may actually call on you. I may have to do that. And yeah, we got the bell. We got the bell, everybody. We got the bell. And Vic said, SP 500 at 5,000. So quick, roaring 20s, I tell you. It's really close. It's really close. Sammer says, hello, all. Let's see. Masterworks Art, another scammy play. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Kevin saying NVIDIA laying the hammer down. They've been doing really, really well, and they're going to continue to do well. As AI continues to develop, there's going to be a huge need for, chips. Also, as Bitcoin starts going back up, and as crypto starts moving into a bull market, people are going to be mining a lot more. So that is going to be interesting. Let's see. And Vic says, what about PSUS, new close-end Bill Ackman fund, Pershing Square hedge fund, but no 2-to-20 split? I'm not sure about PSUS. I haven't really looked at them, Vic, but, it'd be interesting to take a look. Let's see, 2%. Ooh, management exchange rate. So that's a good amount. All right. Perilova says, any info on stock lending? Is it good, bad? Notice today Wealthsimple did that. They have done it. Now, I mean, according to Wealthsimple, it's not supposed to impact anything. So if you want your stock back, you get it back right away. So it's just a way for you to get some extra money. But I haven't really looked at it in great detail. But here's the thing. Have any of you guys been in a situation where they have lent your stock and you've actually received some cash from it? Because I don't know a lot about it, and I'd love to hear about that because that to me sounds like kind of interesting for sure. All right, the good old stock stuff. Let's see here. Vic says hedge fund 2 to 20 means 2% MER and 20% profits. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, and I don't deal with a lot of these hedge funds. Mostly I'm into stocks. I like crypto too a bit. Um, but yeah, it's an interesting thing. So yeah, I understand that. Anyway, that could be very, very interesting. But yeah, no, I am absolutely very excited with the Discord. I think it's definitely a lot of fun. So those of you who have not gotten into Discord, tell you it's a lot of fun. I think we're going to be able to share just so much there. Speaking of sharing, I haven't yet mentioned Blossom. Good old Blossom is still up and running. It is a social media app. Right now, I'm having a little more fun in Discord, but I have tons of fun on Blossom as well. So definitely check out Blossom, download it, use the link below. Follow me when you get there. I'll follow you back. And plus, I think, yeah, this week as well, I got another one of those Blossom shorts I have to do. I think that's going to come out on Thursday. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And Vic says, PSUS will accept retail investors instead of qualified investors. Okay. Yeah, I know with a lot of these hedge funds, they're looking at, normally they do look at qualified investors, meaning that you have to have, I believe it's $100,000 or something crazy like that, or it might even be higher. I can't remember the exact amount, but what Wealthsimple does when they do a lot of these different things that they allow you to get involved in, I think Wealthsimple wants you to have 100,000, and maybe hedge funds want you 500,000, if I remember it correctly. Vic, you'll have to correct me because I think you know a little bit more about it. But what Wealthsimple does is they act as the big investor, and then they're basically then selling portions of it to you guys. You guys can get in and actually participate in some of these bigger funds. Like I think the venture fund, for example, does something similar to that. So that's not a bad thing at all. So definitely like to see that. Oh, this is fantastic. So we're also coming up really fast on our 3,000 subs. So we're under 10. We got less than 10 more we need before we hit 3,000. And then that means we get the parody news video. So I'm already starting to think about it, and I'm already starting to sort of practice figuring out how I'm going to pull this off. I figure, and I think I wrote this somewhere. This is either going to turn out to be absolutely brilliant and a lot of fun, like really funny, or it is going to be a massive crash and burn. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm okay with either because I think both have a certain level of entertainment value. Because sometimes it is fun to watch somebody come. I don't want to say crash and burn. It's more or less like, have you ever gone to a movie that is so bad, it's funny because it's so bad? I think a good example of that was Return of the Killer Tomatoes. I think that was a movie from the 80s. It was basically a sequel of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, but it was really, really bad. But because it was really, really bad, it was actually really funny. Like I think they were going for that type of humor anyway. But it worked out. It worked out really, really well. So I think that video is going to be similar to that. All right. Vic says, ADHD kicking in. I feel bad for King Charles. Ah, yes. The nice thing, I guess, for King Charles is I assume they caught it pretty early. Because those of you who haven't heard, King Charles has cancer. I think it's I don't know if it was prostate cancer. I think it's something in that vicinity. So they're definitely, the nice thing is, I mean, he's going to have the top help for that. And I'm sure that they do a lot of screening with the Royals, so they probably caught it nice and early. So I wouldn't be super worried. I think King Charles will be fine. Vic says, waited 75 years to be king and then hitting the groin with prostate and now cancer. Okay, well, Like I said, I really think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. Let's see here. Got to feel for the king. Yeah, I mean, you can feel for him for sure, but he'll get better treatment than Vic. If you found out you had prostate cancer tomorrow, you will not get as good a treatment as the King of England will, for sure. So just one of those things to keep in mind. All right. I know something that we can do here. Give me 1 second. Where I'm excited about the Discord. Let me show you guys this Discord here. Just give you a general little tour of what we got going over there so far. All right. I'm gonna bring that up here. Here we go. Okay. So basically when you enter the Discord, there's all kinds of, and most of you guys probably already know about Discord and how it all works and all that fun stuff. But yeah, there's just a whole bunch of different topics. And here's the thing, guys, if you guys want a topic, just ask for it. I will put a topic in there for you. So it's pretty simple. Right now, we've got a general, we got a stock talk, we got new investor tips, deep dive requests. So that's where you can actually, when we're doing the deep dive. So when I have the pool, you guys can make your requests right there. So there's another spot to make them. Self-promotion. So any of you guys who have, like, well, whatever it be, maybe if you guys have your own YouTube channel, or maybe you have a TikTok or something you want to promote, go ahead. That's what the self-promotion is for. Go in there, promote your videos or whatever. I don't care. Whatever you want, just do it. Well, except for one rule. Obviously, if you have like let's say you have a social media thing that perhaps is not family friendly, that would be the only thing I would say is let's keep the non-family friendly stuff out. But other than that, yeah, I mean, pretty much everything goes. Random chat, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I guess it means random, whatever. It does not matter. And here's our pet spot. So those of you who are looking, this is Autumn. So Autumn is my cat. She's actually right up there right now. Oh, and take a look here. This puppy down here is Prairie's dog, and they're apparently going to the Maritimes this summer. So that's the cool thing. So yeah, throw your stuff in there. Have fun, play. These are down here. These are the talking ones. I'm not going to click on one because I think if I do, it will kind of screw up my whole mic system right now. But yeah, and I will add stuff that you guys want. We'll just turn this into something fun. One of the things I do like is I like the fact that I think it's easier to use than the Facebook group. And this way here, guys can upload stuff, do whatever you want. It will be fun. So yeah, that is our Discord. And like I said, we'll add more and more stuff. We'll add whatever you guys want. The goal is to just make it as a fun place to do stuff outside of just watching videos. Great place to communicate with each other and just share fun stuff and all of that coolness. All right, there we go. Let me eek. I was stuck over there. All right, let's pull it back to a full screen. And let's see here. Now, Vic said the kayak commercial with screaming scarecrow lady. I don't think I've seen this. A kayak commercial with a screaming scarecrow lady. Yeah, no, I have not seen that commercial. However, over on Prime, those of you who use Prime Video, the commercials have started. They have absolutely started. So I see them now. Like, I think it's usually most shows I'm watching, like me and Jill have been catching up and watching Chicago Fire. So I think every episode starts with a quick 30-second commercial, and then there's usually maybe one or two throughout it. They're short, but they're there. They're there now. So yeah, Amazon has finally throwing the commercials into Prime. So they are there. Those of you who watch Prime, get ready for them. If you don't got them yet, you're getting them. Sammer says, like, smash that button, guys. Yeah, absolutely. Hammer on that button down there. Turn it blue. It basically pushes things out. The algorithm likes it. It gives it, everybody else finds it, what's going on. All right. Ooh, Disney up 7.6%. Now, Vic, I assume you're talking about in the after hours trading. So they must have been having a pretty good earnings call if they're already up in after hours. There we go. Yeah, so after hours trading now they're up to 8%. Vic is letting us know. Vic is like our Disney correspondent today, which is fantastic. Let's see. I think there's some sort of football game this weekend. I heard about that. I think it's called the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl. Um, so yeah, I will still do the live stream. I'm still gonna do this week. Maybe I'll throw a football on it because you know what? It's kind of like the pre-game show. I'll see what other football things I can include in this week, but we will definitely do that. And Jordan's asking, are there commercials in the movies too? I imagine there are, but I have not yet watched a movie since the commercials have started. But yeah, I would imagine that you're probably going to, at the very least, you're going to watch probably a 30-second commercial at the beginning. And then you can actually, when you pull up, you pull it up and you've got, the length of the movie. When you look at the whole track thing, you'll see little white dots on it where they've inserted commercials. So if you look at that and you see like 3 or 4 of those white dots, then you know that you're going to get 3 or 4 commercials through that movie. So, oh, Vic says you can't say Super Bowl because of copyright. I say the big. I don't know if that's true. I've heard people all over the place on YouTube saying, "Oh, I can't say this word and I can't say that word." Um, and some of them, yeah, are probably true. But I think saying Super Bowl, I don't think all of a sudden this stream is going to all of a sudden get killed because I said the S word. But I know there's probably a few things you can say. Like I know sometimes even the chat, right? Back in the day, once again, I think back in the day of Hirai, he had some people get into a conversation that was kind of inappropriate in the chat. And they actually pulled him in the middle of the stream, just bang, closed it right away. And I think he was suspended for like a day or something from streaming. But yeah, it can happen. It can definitely happen. But I think something like Super Bowl, like now, or I'm not even, I'll say pandemic, I'll say COVID. I think that's fine. There are a few things though that I will not say because I'm pretty sure I will get some kind of trouble for it. But yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to tell you what they are, but I'm sure you can use your imagination. Skiz is in the house. Remember when streaming service were the cure to cable? Now they're just cable. Yeah, exactly. It used to be that, cord cutting was a big way to save a ton of money. But now, if you think about it, with all of the really good shows that are out there that you want to watch, you end up getting Disney Plus, Prime, maybe Paramount Plus, maybe Netflix. You start adding those all up, and you've got a cable bill again. So go figure. We managed to stop paying cable so that we can pay a different type of cable. But yeah, it has gotten that way. So that's going to be interesting to see if that continues that way. But for sure, it is that way. All right, and we got one more thing here. We wanted to take a gander at, and that let's bring it back up here. I'll drag it. I think can I drag it to make it bigger? This is the Weeble one. I'm still in the process. I started typing these into TradingView, but right now we still have the Weeble one. But this is our watch list. So you can see today, look at this, TVK, so TerraVest Industries, finished on top, up 6.8%. And HMM.A just behind at 6.13%. So that's not too shabby at all. Let's see who our losers were. Amazingly enough, Hammond lost as well. HPS.A. So Hammond Power was actually down 2.81%. But look at this. I mean, that's the worst on our list, and that's actually not that bad. So we've actually had a pretty good day on the watch list for sure. Yeah, pretty much a lot of things up. BAM. So I actually posted a news article over on the Discord. So BAM is increasing their dividend. So that's kind of a fun little thing for BAM. And well, here's the funny thing. I didn't actually read how much they were increasing their dividend because today was a busy day. I was actually scripting a video for tomorrow, getting ready for, of course, this. So, but yeah, let's go over here to Discord, the general, and there's the market close. Here we go. Here is BAM. Let's just pull it up. All right, I don't want to leave there. So what we'll do is just right click and can I open this in another tab? Yeah, open link in a new tab. There we go. All right. So yeah, so they had a big profit and they have raised their dividend. Let's see here. How much did they? Okay. There we go. So they're going to 38 cents from 32. So there you go. There's 6 cents. So an extra 6 cents a quarter from BAM. You gotta like that. All right, let's we'll get rid of all of that white there. And Jackie is in the house and saying, hi, fellow HMM.A lovers. Just got in from boot camp fitness class. Got to stay in shape so I can spend my HMM.A earnings. Nice. Yeah, keep it going, HMM.A. It's fantastic. Like I said, this is a stock that I found making list videos for you guys. I'm trying to think when the first time I ran into HM. Well, I ran into HPS.A first, and then I found HMM.A just after that. But I think it was about a year ago, roughly. And I sort of flagged them for you guys and said, these are ones to look at. They're going to go up. And they have. They've done really, really well. Unofficial Starbucks break. Starbucks, you do have to call me. So call me. There we go. All right. So yeah, that's kind of the fun thing. All right. So what do we got coming up this week? We got, of course, a deep dive coming out for Friday, and that is on CIBC. So CIBC is coming out Friday. Those of you who are channel members, and a lot of you are, you'll be able to watch that probably tomorrow afternoon. I try my best now. It's actually funny. There was never any pressure on me before to get my my editing done early, but now there is. It's like, get to the grind, Candace. You want to have it done before the afternoon because those channel members need to get their videos sooner, not sooner. Here's another thought I've been thinking about too. I know right now I have one tier level of channel member, and I'm okay with the one tier, but every so often I hear some rumblings from people saying, I want more than just the regular channel member stuff. So I might have to take a look and see if there's any way I can create a sort of an extra value level. But right now, no intention of doing it anytime short. All right, let's see here. Ian says, I bought more CPX today, mostly because I was bored. Okay, that's a different type of DCAing, or is that BCAing, board cost average? I don't know. What is your favorite US moat stock? That's a pretty interesting question. Now, I know I just dropped a video on moat stocks. So those are narrow moat stocks. When we look at some of the larger moat stocks, I think right now, there's a few that when we're looking at the bigger moat stocks, like for example, NVIDIA. I love NVIDIA, but Microsoft right now, I would say out of all of the wide moat stocks, I think Microsoft is my favorite at this point, which is funny because, I'm an Apple person. I love my Apple products, and I don't own any Microsoft products, but I would, they would be my favorite at this moment. But here's the thing. I mean, Apple is like with this whole Vision Pro thing. I've heard a rumor as well. They're going to come up with another version because right now they're very expensive. I think like $3,500 in the US, but they're going to come up with like a $1,500 version. And people are going crazy over these things. It's going to be weird. Like they're not available yet in Canada. So you guys, we don't have to worry about it yet. But I do think they're going to be really, really, really interesting to see where they go and how that evolves as we get into later generations. But right now, I think it would just be cool to have like, these goggles and you can look around. I could put a list over here, put a list over there. And that would just be kind of cool. So we'll have to see how they turn out. I'm kind of thinking they would be kind of neat. Jonathan says, let's see, I keep forgetting to leave work early for the stream, but I got here in time to hear about my TVK pump. There we go. Yes, there we go. I think, Jonathan, if I remember correctly, you were the person who gave us TVK for the watch list. I could be wrong, but I think it was you. Jordan says, let's play the Does Skiz Get a Sub lottery? I don't know what's up with Skiz when it came to that. That was one. Actually, it was kind of exciting during that whole contest, just to see whether or not Skiz was going to win. And the more he didn't win, the funnier it got. So that was kind of cool. Kevin says, I'm going to dump 50K into Microsoft. There we go. There's a serious I like Microsoft moat guy right there. Let's see, starting to deep dive into Microsoft, I hope. Because if you're going to drop 50K into a stock, you want to deep dive it. That's for sure. And all right, we got Jordan is taking a shot at giving a membership to Skiz. I don't know if Skiz is won yet or not. I actually have to click on one of my windows because for some reason it does not show me who wins in the StreamYard. So there we go. And let's take a look. Oh, here we go. Keith Joy has won. So thank you, Jordan. And Keith, welcome to the channel membership group. All right. Whoops, let's bring up this. And Vancouver Isle Guy says, yes, Microsoft. And I'm beginning to think, this is what I'm thinking, Skiz. I'm thinking it has to be something with your account as well, because it's just weird. Because normally, though, if you have your memberships turned on, like you're allowed to get gifted memberships, it should happen. Because where it says Jordan, like right now, this whole green thing that says Jordan, right underneath it, if you didn't have it turned on, you should get a link that tells you that you don't have it on and give you an option to turn it on. And it should be it's not like a small link. It should be like this big box. So that is kind of weird. Kevin says, Microsoft and NVIDIA dynamic duo. I think they are. I think both are going to be doing really, really well. Microsoft has made the right plays, like with the money they put into OpenAI. I think that's absolutely fantastic. So I think we're going to see a lot from both Microsoft. I think from both them and NVIDIA, they're going to have a very, very solid year. And Sam are saying, I think MSTR has more upside. So MSTR, MicroStrategy. Here's the thing with MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy has a lot of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So as Bitcoin goes up, so too does MSTR. It's actually funny. Before there was a spot Bitcoin ETF in the US, MicroStrategy was kind of almost like investing into a spot Bitcoin ETF. Now, I did play MicroStrategy back a few years ago. I played them quite a bit because, Bitcoin, when it was flying up towards its all-time highs, MicroStrategy was not far behind. So I did play them a little bit and I made money off of them. So that's not a bad thing. All right. Kevin says, and Meta for the trifecta. Yeah, Meta's been one. There's a couple things about Meta, and Apple falls into this category too. They've both been very, very quiet. Apple even more so than Meta when it comes to AI. So I think Meta is really moving things in the right direction. And if you look at Meta, and let's do that. Just give me a second. I'm going to pull this. We'll pull this up. Oh, there we get double me for the moment, but we want to come over here, and I don't want to go there. I actually want to go. We'll go here. All right. So I'm going to add Meta here. They may already be here, but that's fine. Oh, they are already here. Okay. Meta. Here we go. All right. So this here is Meta, and right now I'm on a 1 hour chart. I'm going to drop down to just going to drop down to a 1 day chart. All right, let's just going to shrink this down a little bit. But what you can see with Meta is they have been since about here. So this here is October. So this is going into, so this is where they kind of hit their bottom all the way down here at $88.20. And since then, so since 2022, November 3rd, look at them. They've just been climbing up, climbing up, climbing up, climbing up, climbing up. And then they had this huge climb up in the last little bit, all because of, and you can see right here, this is their earnings report right here on Thursday. And you can see they went from, well, let's see here, 395, and they made it all the way up to 486 before settling in. And right now they're sitting at what, 469. So they've done really, really well, and they've been on a tear. And there's really been not a lot of, you got a couple little corrections here and there, but they've all been very healthy. Like this is healthy. So when you're looking at this and you get these little loops coming down, that is very, very healthy. A lot of times you'll get a correction, then you might get a little bit of price consolidation. In this case here, this was a lot of price consolidation right here. And then they moved into their next big thing. So yeah, Microsoft. Meta is looking very, very healthy, and I think they're going to do well on the long term. So definitely a good thing. So Vic is saying, so happy to be out of MicroStrategy. They have 190,000 Bitcoin. So there we go. And that's a thing. So sometimes, like I know recently somebody was talking to me about MicroStrategy, and they're like, oh my God, they're selling their shares. They're selling some of their stock, insider selling type thing. But the reason they were doing that was because they wanted the money to buy more Bitcoin, because they're looking at Bitcoin as something that's about to go up. And, here is been Bitcoin. So this here, of course, this big bump up here. Oh, I'm like referencing something that you can't see. Okay. Yeah. So this big bump up here, this was here. This was the day that they announced the spot Bitcoin ETFs. So we had that big giant pull, and then we had a big giant fall. But now we're moving back up. It's moving again in the right direction. So we'll have to see what's going to happen. We got the halvening coming up as well. So those of you who don't know what the halvening is, that basically means that you basically receive half the amount of Bitcoin for solving a problem when you're doing Bitcoin mining. So kind of a fun thing. So that will potentially, well, here's the thing with halvings. In the past, when we've had a halving, it's not like you have the halving and Bitcoin just all of a sudden flies up. Normally there's a bit of a lag. So the halving is probably going to happen like in April. So what you'll probably see is a lot of the effect from that. You won't see it in April when it happens. You probably won't even see it in May. You might see a little bit of a bump, like the whole buy the news, sell the rumor type thing. But then as you move into the fall, I think that's where you're going to really start seeing it coming into fruition. So just something to keep in mind when you're looking at the charts through the rest of the year. There, let's get rid of that. Vic says, most of us stood on the side when Meta was at $88. I know. Well, you see, back then in October, October and November of 2022, everybody was like, nope, the bottom's not in. It's going to get so much worse. And that's what everybody thought. Everybody thought everything was going to get much, much worse, that we hadn't seen the bottom. Actually, the only person that I can think of that actually called it was Meet Kevin. Meet Kevin was going on that this is the bottom, and we're looking at a very, very, very slow climb up. I think he sort of referred to it as the symbol for the Nike. But he was right on that one. He turned out to be right. But yeah, a lot of people were just really, really afraid and thinking, yeah, it's going to happen. We're going to go further down. But it looks like, no, it doesn't look like that at all. It looks like things are slowly starting to move in the right direction now. So let's just keep it going. Let's see. ARM just reporting nice earnings. So NVIDIA will fly tomorrow. Okay, there we go. Skiz says, what product or service does Mega provide that generates revenue? Oh, Meta. So where they're picking up their revenue right now is they've been doing really well with their ads. So their ad revenue is up big time. So that is one of the big areas that they're pulling in a lot of money. Okay. I don't think their headsets are doing. I don't think their headsets are doing very good at all. And with these new Apple headsets, so with the Vision Pro, they're blowing away every other headset out there. And that's kind of been what Apple does. Apple is not a good inventor. Let's just put it this way: Apple did not invent the smartphone. Apple did not invent the smartwatch. Apple did not invent the headset. What Apple does is they take something that's invented and they make it insanely better. So they took the smartphone and they made the iPhone. They took the smartwatch and they made the iWatch. And now they've taken things like the Oculus and other goggles and they've made the Vision Pro. That's what they do. They take, they don't come up with the ideas. They just take the ideas that are out there and they insanely make them better. And that's kind of one of these interesting things. One of the things that people don't understand, like when you're talking about Apple, Apple has actually bought more AI companies than pretty much every other big tech company. They have been buying up AI like crazy. And Apple's one of these ones, they don't tell you what they're doing until they've got it done. So Apple is working on something. Because right now, if you look at Siri, Siri is an idiot. She's not very smart. And it's almost like at one point Siri was kind of like the assistant that everybody loved, but now she's fallen so far behind compared to different AIs, and we're now getting to a point that that's what one of the things that Microsoft is working on behind the scenes. What Microsoft wants to do is to be able to create a large language model that they can actually put in your phone or put it in your watch, so that whether you don't have to have, like, for example, internet access to have a good conversation and good a lot of information coming out of their AI. So we'll have to see how that works. Let's just say I have no doubt that within a year, Siri will not be the idiot that she is today. So, and I actually managed to say that without Siri coming in and piping in. Siri is weird. Sometimes she just hears something and she just goes off on a tangent, but right now we're doing good. Vic says, I'm getting liquidated from Mesh. Is that metaverse ETF being shut down? Yeah, the metaverse. The metaverse is an interesting idea. And I think it's a fascinating idea. But I think the problem is, I don't think we want a virtual reality where we're all looking like we're living inside of an old Atari game. I think what we want is if anything, I think we want an augmented reality first, and then maybe a virtual reality when the technology is ready. Like if I want a virtual reality, I want to look like a human in it. I don't want to look like, a reject from Frogger. Even though Frogger's a fun game, that's just kind of what I would want for virtual reality. Because then, when you look at what you can use virtual reality for, imagine being able to have an office meeting from home, but it looks like everybody's in the same room, and you're looking at your coworkers and they look as flesh and blood as what you would expect them to look like. So that's kind of where I'm hoping to go. Carol is in the house saying hi. Better late than never. Exactly. There's always the replay. That is always available. Vic says, when is your YouTube anniversary? We have to celebrate. Well, my YouTube anniversary is around, I think it's right around the beginning of October. So yeah, around the beginning of October. I think this October it'll be 3 years on YouTube. Yeah. So basically around October will be the 3-year anniversary, because I think we just did the 2-year anniversary. Actually, I made a video on that anniversary, and I'll probably do a 3-year anniversary video because I'm one of these people that I like these special little things like that. So I find them very fascinating. Once again, hello, Starbucks. If any of you guys, after you watch any of these live streams, have a desire for Starbucks, that's proof, Starbucks, that you should be sponsoring me. I'm not going to ask if you do or not, but hey, why not? Skiz says, Oh my gosh, Microsoft will bring back the paperclip and give AI fear. Yeah, it would be one of these situations where it's like the paperclip will be like, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And you'll be like, "Yeah, I'm doing it, paperclip." Then the paperclip will say, "Well, if you do it that way, I'm going to take some of those pictures that you don't want people seeing in that folder and email it to all your friends." And then it'll be like, "Yeah, okay, paperclip, I will do it right." So just one of those. Anyway, that's just kind of my vision of like an evil paperclip. Um, so Vic says, in the metaverse, I'll be Travis Keels and Taylor Swift will be your friend. There you go. Um, yeah, just whatever you do, don't get on her bad side or she'll make a song about you. So just keep that in mind. Let's see, create, save, and invest, high rye, all gone. Um, yeah, I mean, I really thought create, save, and invest would be back by now, but I'm still holding out for Scott. I think Scott will show up one of these days. Last one standing or streaming. Well, I'm here for the long haul. I've got no intention of going anywhere. I love. I mean, streaming is fun. You guys are all pretty darn awesome, which makes it pretty easy to do. Um, and I've loved the fact, like, when I first started the streaming and the channel, it was more or less just me and somebody else. We do little interviews or we both talk on the same topic. And um, then when I just decided, let's go with the news thing with this week, and now with the market closes, to me, it's perfectly cool. I mean, I'm not saying I will never ever bring anyone on a stream. Um, oh, I certainly will. But for now, I think this has been kind of fun and it's been kind of good. And it's kind of neat too, because it's a very different atmosphere. Like when you actually have somebody else on the stream with you, you don't have that responsibility to talk consistently for however long. You then have that opportunity to basically throw them a question. Then you can have your little drink of coffee, or you can be thinking, or sometimes you can even be pulling something up on the internet to see what's going on. It's kind of cool that way. But at the same time, I find I always have to almost be thinking. So when I'm talking to you guys, I almost have to be thinking about, okay, what am I going to be talking about next while I'm talking about what I'm talking about now? So as a result, and that's usually like sometimes when I have like a couple of those little word issues or pronunciation, it's usually because I might be saying something to you now, but I'm thinking about what I'm going to be saying to you in a minute. And for whatever reason, a couple of words they get sort of transposed from where I'm going to where I'm at, and it comes out really, really, really funny. So, anyway, that's always a good thing. See, so Skiz says Vic the Swifties would never have it. There you go, Vic. There you go. You can never be with Taylor Swift because the Swifties won't let it happen. Kevin says. ARM up 25% after earnings report. Jeez. Yeah. But keep in mind, too, a lot of times after the earnings, you'll see some of these prices go way up. Sometimes they do stabilize a little bit before the next day, but a lot of times they do certainly go up. Vic says super micro computer. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing what is going to happen with everything. Uh, Especially once we get to a point that we start marrying AI and quantum computing, that's going to be, I think, really, 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 really interesting. So definitely something to keep in mind. All right, now, can you speak on it? What do you want me to speak on, Kevin? Let's see. Disney earnings call is the cure for insomnia. Well, if it's going well, Disney's had a lot of bad calls, a lot of bad earning calls, so it's definitely nice to see. Yes, here we go. Good old Alvo Petro. So yeah, hi Candace. Alvo Petro is really failing. Are you keeping it, or when should you sell? That's the question here. Now, Alvo Petro, I think right about now it's down about 30% in the challenge. So it's a stinker. I'm not ready to sell it yet. I will definitely not add anything to it right now. Um, I think one of the reasons that I don't want to sell it is I'm kind of holding on to it for a reason at this point. If once oil starts taking up, of course, if oil starts heading back towards $100 a barrel, that'll be a stock that will go back into the green for sure. But what I might do with it is I might hold on to it until I do a rebalance, and then we'll sort of evaluate what we're going to do, whether we sell it or sell all of it, sell some of it, or I mean maybe it will recover. Look at DE, so decisive dividend. That was another one that was a stinker for probably the first 3 months of the challenge, and now it's doing good. It's well into the green, so that's kind of the way things go. A lot of times it's really easy to want to sell something when it's down, because when it is down, what was I thinking here? When it goes down like that, sometimes, by cementing that loss, you're just losing money, because a lot of times these things are going to pull up. Now, when I did do this stock, I mean, its fundamentals looked fine, and I haven't looked at their fundamentals since then, but that's where I would go next. So if they stay down and continue to stay down, I'll go and before I do a rebalance, I'll look at the fundamentals and I'll see. I mean, if the fundamentals are still fine and everything is sort of looking like it's going to explode upwards eventually, maybe I will. But it really comes down to it. I'll look and I'll see. I could also be in a situation where I make a move sideways if I can find another stock in a similar situation where it has a better potential of growing. That could happen, but we'll see. We'll take a look. Let's see. Taylor Swift movie streaming on Disney March 15th. Yeah, I think she's also got a concert streaming as well. So ARM is up 24%. Speak on ARM being up 25% after the earnings report. All right. Well, let me take a look here and see here. I just got to pull ARM up. All right. So I'm going to bring this over here for you. Here we go. And we're on ARM here. So you can see their earnings report right here. So look at this, 72 to 77. So that's not too bad. So ARM Holdings, they're basically, they do a lot of electronics, it's a technology company. So it's another one of these companies. And yeah, if a company has a great earnings, you're going to see the price start to fly in the after-hour trading. Now, this doesn't happen so much on the Canadian side because Canadian stocks aren't open. We don't have extended hours, but the US stocks do. So, and here's the thing, depending on who your broker is. So let's say for a national bank, for example, if you wanted to buy stuff in the after hours, they'd have to be US stocks. You can do it, but you have to do it by the phone. You'd have to actually phone in your order to National Bank. And I think they charge a fee on it as well. I heard something as well about Wealthsimple looking at doing after hours trading as well. So it's just one of these things that you can certainly do, because a lot of times what happens is once the bell goes, a lot of companies will do their earnings call either then or just before the bell starts in the morning. So it gives you an opportunity to get in and maybe make a little bit of money depending on what is happening. Especially if you get in, you see that things are starting to go good on an earnings call, you might want to buy some stuff right away and ride it up if that's what you're trying to do. So, and there we are, up 28%. Oh, yeah. All right. Perlovia says Birchcliff Energy up near 10% at market close. No, that's not too bad. Let's see. Vic says Disney opening up a theme park in Ottawa. Really? Are you just sort of joking? I mean, you could be joking. I can't see why Disney would pick near Ottawa. But then again, I mean, if Disney wanted to open a theme park, I mean, you wouldn't probably do it near Toronto because they've already got Wonderland. I would almost, well, yeah. Here we go. Just kidding. There we go. See? You made me go off on a tangent for nothing, Vic. That's fine. That was funny. Skid says oil is going to go the way of gold and become a manipulated, controlled asset. It'll be interesting to see how oil is going to continue. I mean, oil, no matter how much we're investing into green technology, oil's going to be king for still a long time to come. But it really boils down to, like, one of the things I was talking about, like with uranium, for example, is that nuclear power is going to get bigger and bigger, especially in Europe. Europe right now is really putting a push on nuclear energy. So that's one of the reasons why some of these uranium stocks are doing so well. Jackie says, EQB has been going up constantly for the last 3 months. I should have bought it when you mentioned it a few months ago. Thoughts on EQB? I like EQB. I use EQB. I think it's a very solid investment, and I do think it's going to continue going up. I don't see it going down. Now, they are, keep in mind, as long as they continue that forward momentum, and I've seen no sign. When I talk about the forward momentum, I'm talking about what their products and what they're offering. It's, they're capturing more and more of a share of Canadian people who want to use banks. As long as they keep moving in that right direction like that, their share value should continue following the same direction. So yeah, big fan of EQ Bank. Let's see. Yes, it's true. VersaBank, anyone? Why would I need VersaBank, Vic, when I love EQ Bank so much? But no problem. Vancouver guy says, thank you very much. Oh yes, for pulling up. Whoops, I still have it up, don't I? Here we go. That was her pulling up arm. So it's one of these good little things. Now, those of you, especially with American stocks, a lot of times people are like, oh, I don't know what to buy. All these different tech stocks are going up. Well, that's where ETFs can really sort of save the day for you. And here's an interesting thing. So coming up in our challenge, I'm going to add 2 particular stocks. So one of them is what is it? HEQ? No, HEQ. Give me a second here. I'm just going to pull it up here because I'm like, I don't know what, it's not that I don't know what I'm doing. It's like HQX or something. My head is toast. I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, well, one of them is, I'm going to pull up the covered call version of, why is my head just not working? I think it's because I need more coffee. But nonetheless, here, give me a second. I will get the name for you. It's because I don't normally play with a lot of ETFs. But what I want to do is I basically want to run a regular ETF against its covered call version. So HXQ, I should have known that. So I'm taking HXQ, and the covered call version of HXQ is QQCC. And so I'm going to run them against each other and see how they do. Now, I have already purchased them. So these are my February buys, which I report on at the end of the month. So I've basically spent roughly $135 on both of these stocks. And already, since I bought them not that long ago, so we're talking a couple of days, HXQ is already up 2.05%, and QQCC is up 1.49. But now QQCC, they do have dividends. They have a yield of 11.23%. So that is every month I'll get $10.75 per share for that. So that is, $10. I'll get 10.75 cents per share. Not, wow. Could you imagine if it was $10? That would be absolutely crazy. But it isn't. It's just a little bit. All right. Let's see here. Whoops. Why is that not? Just give me a second. I'm clicking on less, and for whatever reason, it does not want to work. All right. Well, Les wants to know if I have any thoughts on Air Products and Gilead Sciences. I don't at the moment, but oh yeah, and here's Vancouver guy coming in with the HXQ. Yeah, there we go. He saved me. Yeah, it's one of those things. And I guess as you get older, this happens more and more often, where it's like the word is right there at the tip of your tongue, and it's like, what the heck? Where did it go? It went on sabbatical. But it does happen from time to time. So that's kind of an interesting thing here. Just give me a second here. Why? Oh, I think I know why. Let me do that and come back. Here. No, no, it's not working. For some reason, my stone yard, I was gonna say stone yard, my stream yard is not letting me click on anything. So that could be very interesting. I may not even be able to oh, give me a second. That's why. There we go. I have it working now. I got it working now. See, here we go. I was going to say, if I could not click on anything, I may have not been able to end the stream. I may have had to just continue streaming forever until I figured out how to fix it. But it is working now, which is good. There was our HXQ. I knew you knew it. I know. I knew it too. And I'm like, what the heck? And Sammer says, CC will underperform the underlying asset in the long run. They should. They absolutely should. And I know that they will. HXQ should win, especially as we move into a bull market. But here's the thing. If we had a market that was flat, mostly flat or, slightly down, then the covered call would actually have a chance of coming ahead. So we'll have to take a look. But this is kind of cool. I thought I would just do it so we have the empirical proof. I'll just be like, here it is, folks. Here's what we've done. Day after day, we hear of more layoffs, but market goes up. Yeah. But you got to keep in mind, though, there's so many jobs available that these people getting laid off, a lot of them are just picking up other jobs. So it's not quite as bad as it seems. And I think that's part of it, especially in the US where their economy is just absolutely booming. And Canada's, our latest GDP readings was positive for November. So we're not doing that bad either. HTAE. Yes, that's another good ETF. Let's see. Vic says, October 2023 was low. Who knew? TD dropping. Yeah, poor old TD. Now, this is an interesting one. So I recently did a deep dive on Whitecap Resources, and they have been, well, let me pull them up. Give me a second here. Let's bring this over. There we go. And we will bring up Whitecap Resources. And look at this. I already have them. There's me bringing up stuff I already have. Okay. Here we are. Whitecap Resources. Here we are. Now, when you look at Whitecap Resources, they have not been doing the best. They have been on a very big downward trend. But at the same time, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, the deep dive I had done on them not that long ago has been getting a lot of traction lately. So let's see here. Now, this, mind you, this here is on the day. I'm going to move us back to the 4 hour. Or we'll move us back to, the 1 hour is normally what I work out of. This way here, we can sort of see what's been going on. So they've been coming down a little bit. There's been a little bit of recovery. I think they're sort of in the same boat as Alvo Petro. So we get this big drop on some of these smaller oil companies. I think the bigger oil companies are fine. They've got bigger, deeper pockets. It's not infecting them as much. But this is going to be one of these ones to watch when oil does turn around. So that's just kind of interesting. Exactly. And this is kind of what I'm thinking. And Perlovia is sort of saying, hang tight, oil will be at 85 before too long. And that's going to fix a lot of these stocks. Like Whitecap, for example, Paralovia, a few of these Paralovia, you're not a stock. Alvo Petro. That was actually funny. It is going to fix a lot of these, and we're going to see a lot of recovery on them. So that's what it's going to be really interesting. So if we see something in the world, and this is usually what happens when you're dealing with the price of WTI, if stuff starts happening, well, here's the big thing. Look at the election. If Biden loses that election, you probably want to start getting into some of these stocks because you're going to see oil go up big time if the Republicans get back in power in the U.S. So that's just one of those things where you pay attention. Now, if Biden manages to stay in power, It's probably going to be much of the same. Like he is. It's almost like his mantra is to try to keep oil and gas prices down. And that's why there's almost, there's not very much right now in the strategic reserve. So the strategic oil reserve in the U.S., he's basically pumped it all out. And he's doing everything in his power to try to keep the prices down. Trump won't do that. If it's Trump or any Republican, they're going to go the opposite direction. You're going to see they will actually refill the the reserves, and that will have a big effect on the price of oil as well. So let's see what happens. Okay, so QQCL, and that's now leveraged 25%. You can make a lot of money. You can make a ton of money with that, but you can lose a ton of money. So that's kind of that thing. When it comes to leverage, I get a little nervous only because, especially if we get somebody who is a new investor and they start getting into some of these leveraged accounts, because I've seen it happen like this is kind of the interesting thing. So back in the pandemic, a lot of new investors came along. A lot of people discovered investing. They came in. It was awesome. But here's the problem. Those people, because all of a sudden everything was in a bull market, everything was looking fantastic. Then we went into a bear market and they weren't prepared. A lot of those people were buying at the top and they go into a bear market and then they're panicking. So FUD, so fear, uncertainty, doubt comes in and they sold and they took big losses, especially with Bitcoin, for example. And a lot of those people walked away from investing and said, oh my God, I'm never doing that again, which is unfortunate because, these are people who will probably end up struggling because they basically invested in the wrong direction. So there's definitely a lot of people like that. Caught into Streamland. Yeah, good old. I love StreamYard. It is a great interface, but there's a few things that I would definitely love to fix with it. Bidenomics. There we go. Thank you, energy stock. I am. Okay, Paralovia is now officially an energy stock. I don't know what your ticker is, Paralovia. PVA maybe? And natural gas stocks. Well, yeah, I do like natural gas, but keep in mind, because of Biden putting the freeze on some of the building of any new natural gas facilities, well, the approval of the building of natural gas, anything that's already been approved is fine. But that is going to put a cap on things. Now, we do have one of our own exporting facilities that should be hopefully within a year or two ready on the West Coast, so we can at least have that. But we need to build more. We definitely need to build more. So I don't know what is up with that. All right, guys, time for your last questions. You got any last questions? Drop them in, and then we're gonna head off into the sunset. I probably should, if I'm promoting Staples, Starbucks, probably should do it with a full screen. Here we go. As I'm waiting for a question, Vic said buy, but buy is not a question. Buy is more of a state, or something you do in the store. Very good. All right. So once again, coming up this week, we have, of course, we got our deep dive on CIBC on Friday. We'll have of course, we have the Super Bowl version of this week on Sunday. And then on Tuesday, we will have another list video. I'm leaning towards doing a dividend one because I haven't done dividends, like a high dividend one in a while. So probably we'll look at some high dividends on Tuesday. We'll be back here, of course, next week. We'll do this all over again. Who knows what's going to happen in the market, right? The market is going to be, it's going to do what it wants. Maybe it'll be green. Maybe it'll be red. Maybe it'll be, I don't think I've ever seen the market end at 0.00. I've seen it, I think I think I saw it on gold one day, but I don't think I've ever seen it on the TSX or the S&P 500. So we'll have to see. Until then, everybody, it's been fantastic. We've had another good day. We'll be back here again pretty darn soon. So until then, take care, everybody. See you later. Bye.